Welcome once again to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and what we have this time is the Tanaka Yo or Western handled VG-10 Nashiji Gyuto 180mm knife. So as mentioned, the construction on these is 3 layers, and what you've got is in the center harder core steel that's the cutting edge. You've got VG-10 full stainless steel at a heat treat around 60-61 Rockwell. On either side of that hard core steel, which is stainless, you've got a softer stainless steel cladding. So it's an all stainless knife for easy maintenance. The cladding has what's known as a Nashiji or pear skin kind of mottled finish, and on these it's a fairly smooth finish. Will vary a little bit from knife to knife. These have some cool character to them. The weight and dimensions is going to vary a little bit from knife to knife. It does look like that cladding comes over the top of the spine as well. The weight on this one is 156 grams or 5.5 ounces, and the edge length are at about 190 millimeters, so a little bit oversized, about 7.5 inches. The overall length about 313 millimeters, and these are fairly thick spines, so they've got some definite, they're stiff blades, very noticeable in that respect. And so coming above the back of the heel here, you've got around 3 millimeters, but then we thin out right away to about 2.5, 2.4, and pretty much hold that all the way through. There's not really much taper to it. And then you'll hit a fairly generous grind, so they start to thin it up at the tip. And the tip itself thins up pretty well. It's not super skinny. It's got a little bit of meat there for some resiliency and some backbone, but they grind it fairly generously. It's not super skinny at the edge, but you know, this kind of a compromise between performance and durability. So these knives, they're good performers. It's not gonna like ghost through things. It's not a laser, but it's just a good, pretty much all around good performing knife. The blade height is pretty good at 46.8, a little higher than some of these 180 Gyutos. So you've got pretty good clearance for your fingers, which can be an issue sometimes with the shorter Gyuto knives, or less long, I should say. Handle type is a black pack-of-wood stabilized wood product. Nice fit and finish on it. Everything's pretty smooth. Tight rivets are good as far as the feel on those. Smooth. It's a partial tang, so you can see the tang is pretty thick here, and then it comes down probably in this area. And you can see it doesn't come all the way to the bottom, so it lightens up the handle, and that brings the balance point a little bit further forward than it normally would with a full-on, full tang Western or Yo handle. So there's your balance point. It's going to be behind a pinch grip, but it's still, like I said, further forward than it normally would be with a full tang handle. So it's a very comfortable knife. It's got a good feel to it. The look of it is got a lot of handcrafted character. So you've got a kind of a frosted blade road at the bottom, and then you can see the core steel peeking out from the cladding. They've got hand chiseled kanji, which is very well done. And then on the left side of the blade, it's basically plain. There's your Nashiji or pear skin finish into your blade road or grind down to the edge, and there's your core steel peeking out. I can't help but think this might be a really good introduction for someone to kind of handcrafted Japanese cutlery that wants something all stainless but with a lot of character to it. So it's got enough meat behind the edge and the tip where it's got a little bit of durability, kind of good performance, but not a super skinny knife. And I'm not going to say it's not delicate, but it's got a little bit of meat to it. But there's your profile. Really smooth profile, good all-around profile, fairly low on the tip, almost a little santoku style. So I'm not going to get super high on a rock, but I can get fairly high. So this knife will do good with a kind of a shorter rock and push-pull cuts, a little bit of chopping towards the back. So just kind of a good all-around knife. So it's a neat little package. So it's a nice lineup here. So this is the Tanaka Western or Yo VG-10 Nashiji Gyuto 180mm knife.